Hello everyone, this is Traceface again. I've been very inspired lately to keep going with these videos, and I was asked by a group I'm with from some of the women in the group to do a video about family members that are narcissistic and how to deal with that. And along with that today, I want to talk about not only family members, but I want to talk about what it is we can be doing to stop all of this right away, to the point where you're going to start feeling better tomorrow, and I promise you will start to feel better tomorrow. It's these little things that I've been studying and learning about that are going to stop some of these obsessive thoughts, these feeling like, you know, that these people have a hold on you. So starting with family members, it's really difficult. And I want to start off by saying that having somebody in your family that's very narcissistic and very self-absorbed and possibly has some sort of addiction that they're going through, and growing up and watching that, or perhaps it's a family member that targeted you for some reason, spilt all their anger and kind of looked to you to be like the scapegoat or the target that they were going to bully because possibly they were getting bullied in school, or they needed that punching bag, if you will, when they came back home, and to have somebody in the home. And a lot of times I've been told, and I've learned just from some of the people I've dated and hearing the stories, that typically narcissists are bullies, okay? And the reason being is it's most likely because they got bullied at home, or they got bullied at school, or they had neglect growing up. They had a lot of serious neglect. So they need to get all these emotions out, and they need to take it out on somebody because that's how they were feeling inside. So they need to treat people as they feel about themselves or what they saw growing up. So yeah, a lot of times you're seeing the narcissist that you possibly are getting involved with grew up in a home where they were bullied, and so this is what they saw, right? This is all they know. The father most likely was bullying the mother and them as the children, or it could have been somebody in your home that was very, very spoiled growing up. Maybe your parent was spoiled by their parents, and they don't understand, you know, that consequences. They don't understand compromise. They don't understand that they do actually do things wrong. You know, they don't see it that way because they got away with everything growing up. And as I said in one of my other videos, if a narcissist grew up with a narcissistic parent, a bullying parent, and then the other parent felt really bad that they were getting targeted and bullied, and they didn't have the guts to take the kids out of the home or whatever, I'm not going to judge why they stayed, because we all know that it's very difficult, and I'm sure it's really difficult when you have kids. However, I don't have any tolerance for that at all. When there's kids involved, you need to do the right thing. You need to do whatever it is that you need to do to get your kids out of that environment. And you got to come to that place in life where you're not putting an innocent child through that, because it's going to keep happening. This generational curse will continue in your family if you don't get your kids safe and away from a person that is bullying and possibly very aggressive and violent. There is no need to put your kids through that, or to put your kids through addiction. I don't think so. That is completely, in my opinion, that's when it reaches the point that you need to get yourself some help. Because if you can't see that you're doing that to an innocent child, you're equally now as screwed up, and you need to get help. And I'm just going to say that much about when it comes to kids. I don't have kids, but I can tell you right now, if I did, I know for a fact, because I'm very compassionate. I'm very compassionate with my animals. I put other people before me. I wouldn't subject my children to an abusive, game playing monster in the house. I just wouldn't do it. If your partner is involved with drugs or alcohol or anything like that, you need to get your kids and you need to get safe. Because let me tell you something. With my experience, narcissistic people, because they don't experience empathy and compassion, are capable of doing things, doing horrible things. Things that you could say to yourself right now, oh, he or she would never, they wouldn't get violent. They've never been violent before. I have seen it all. And sometimes it takes years before you're really going to see that side of them. But if they don't experience empathy and compassion, that is very scary. And that means that they're capable of doing very bad things. Not only to you and to your soul, but physically. And I've seen it, and I have been through it. So don't ever underestimate somebody's anger, somebody's rage, somebody's words. If somebody is talking down to you all the time, and they know that they're hurting you, and you tell them that they're hurting you and they keep doing it, it's because they want to. They want to see you hurt. They want to continue to have a punching bag because that's what they saw. And they don't think that they need to get any help for it. So all that aside, this is the part that I want to talk about that's really going to, I know for me, this past week, I listened to Abraham Hicks. I don't know if any of you have heard of who Abraham Hicks is. Well, she basically talks about coming into your own vortex and your own self. And there was an actual video of her at a conference that she was doing, and somebody asked her, how do I deal with a narcissistic person in my life? I think he was talking about a family member, as a matter of fact. And he said, how do I deal with this? Like, it's bothering me. And she basically said this, and I thought this was so profound because I've had moments where I've felt this way. It's really hard because you're the puppet, and they're playing with you all the time. They're playing with your emotions. But basically she said, when you come into your own, and when you basically are at a place where you're in balance with yourself, and you have come into that place, your inner self, that you know you're back, you're somehow tapping in, she calls it tapping in, tuning in to who you truly are. No, not anybody, not anything they decide to do, no family member, no spouse, no boyfriend, no girlfriend, no friend, no boss is going to get to you. And so what this means is the way we're going to start getting to the journey of healing is we have to start spending more time with ourselves. And whatever that means, taking yourself out, meditating, reading, remembering your goals before you met the narcissist or before you let the narcissists in your life take over your energy, because they're energy vampires. They suck the life out of you. But the key is we can't let them. We cannot let them any longer. It's over. Our time of distraction, because that's all this is, they are a distraction from ourselves. They are an excuse for us to stay where we're at, to stay trapped, to not continue on with what we were here for and to begin with, what our purpose was in life. We all were put on this planet for a reason. We all have a purpose here. And we should never, ever let somebody else come into our lives and ruin our day, make us feel less than, make us feel like we don't have any worth, any value. Because the minute somebody gets to you that way, they're going to keep doing it because they know that they can. And behind, this is the other thing I want to say, behind every single narcissist, behind every single abuser, manipulator, addict, whatever it could be, right? Somebody going through toxicity. Somebody that clearly hasn't healed their inner selves, right? Behind every single situation that involves these toxic people is somebody allowing it. There's somebody at the end of that line allowing it. So you have to say no more. I am not going to allow you any longer to have any control whatsoever of what I'm going to do today, how I'm going to spend my time, what I'm going to do with my life. There is no relationship more important than the relationship that we have with ourselves and with God first, because the closer we can get to our God is the closer we're going to get to ourselves. And there should be no relationship more important than what you're going to do with your life, how you're going to spend your time, how you're going to figure out your talents and what God gave to you to do in life. There's nothing more important than that. If you have to be around your family, if there's situations right now that are tying you to them or tying you to your spouse or to friends, family, jobs, you have to start thinking about that. You have one life. We all have one life to live. That's it. We don't get another shot here. I know we're all going somewhere else, but we have to concentrate on what it is that we're supposed to be doing while we're here. And we only get one shot. So nobody should ever be taking away our chance to do something great here. No one is worth that. So start thinking about what you could do. Could you start making arrangements to think about moving? If you don't want to move, you have to start making plans in your head as to when you are going to see your narcissistic family member. When do you want to see them? It's on your terms, right? You put them at arm's length. You set up a situation where if, they're an addict, you make it on your terms. When you want to see them. When it's convenient for you and when it's going to be okay for you. You tell them that I'm not okay with you drinking. So I am not going to be around you when you're drinking. And if I come over here and you're drinking, I'm not going to bother to talk to you. So that's really what I wanted to say today. It's the way to heal, the quickest way to start to feel better is to take all of them out of the picture. Take them out. It's you at the end of the day. It's you. I had to start doing that the last 2 weeks. They're not going to help me. I'm not going to get answers from them as to why they're doing these things. Never. Because they don't even have answers. They don't know why they're doing it. So that's really what I wanted to say. I know that a lot of you are going through the same thing and you don't know how. You feel so stuck. You feel so trapped. You feel so connected to this person. And a lot of it, guys, is because we cannot understand. We still don't believe it. We still don't believe that people could be so selfish as to know that they're hurting you. They're hurting their family. They're hurting their friends and the people in their life, and they still keep doing it. But you know what? It was never about you. It's never going to be about you. It's about them, and it's about why they're doing it. They have to be the ones to figure that out. You're not going to help them. In fact, you being in their lives right now is just enabling them to continue to do what it is they're doing, and you're going to be on that continuous path of insanity. And the path to insanity is to keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. You got to change. And the changing is going to start with us. That's all I had to say. I am Trace Face. Thank you for listening. If you would like, you could head over to my band's page. It's my brother and I. Our last name is Garrity, and we have a band called Vulgarity. Haha. We're not really vulgar. It's a brother and sister. We're multi-instrumentalists, and we spell the name with 2 R's, vulgarity.com. I have a lot of videos up. One of our videos from a few years ago was about the second narcissist I ever encountered. I dated him, and he actually wasn't a narcissist. He was a sociopath. And I'll talk more about that another time. But the name of that video is Karma's Got a Gun. You could look that up, and it is about, it's not about having a gun, really. It's about that karma is always after you. So whatever you're putting out there, you're going to get back, and you're actually going to get it back tenfold. And it might not be tomorrow, it might not be next week, and it might not be next year, but it's coming. It will come. So hang in there, and I am Trace Face. It is time we all face the truth together. Thanks for listening.